Welcome to Walnut Hills Basketball and Graham Sportscasting Channel. Today, the Eagles will look to make it 3 straight wins as they travel to Mount Washington to take on the Rockets of Archbishop McNicholas High School, who are 0-3 and still looking for their first. We are about 5 minutes away from getting underway here in Mount Washington. McNicholas, definitely a team that spreads the ball around, puts in a lot of guys more often than the teams we've seen over in the ECC. Only 2 guys on their team have a 10-point game in their career. That is number 1 Charlie Clark and number 55 Grant Waters. Not often you see a non-center wearing a number as big as 55. Even less often you see them absolutely tearing it up. Grant Waters 13.7 a game in his sophomore season for these McNicholas Rockets. Also averages 2.7 rebounds a game, but also 3 turnovers. So definitely can take advantage of Waters there. Still waiting on an actual video to come through. Till then, Eagles so far through games. Ty Austin with 16 a game through these first couple of weeks. He's up there with the top scorers in the conference. West Claremont, Carson Duke, 21.3 a game. Of course, Lebanon's Jashawn Coffey has been making a name for himself in his freshman season. We'll see both of them later this year. Also hope to see a little bit more from Joey Peening, as he has only gotten himself 4 points. Those points game against Winton Woods. He's 1 for 9 shooting on the year, and he has not played in the second half of the Loveland game or the Milford game. So we need to see improvement out of him. He's was looking to take a big leap heading into that sophomore season. Instead, he's mostly taking a backseat to the more experienced guys like Austin, Stoffridgen, and even McDaniel nowadays. One thing that is very commendable about these Eagles, they have shot the free throw pretty well. 76% free throw shooting as a team. That is very, very good for a high school team. By comparison, these Rockets that we're about to see them play shoot free throws at a 61% clip. Ty Austin only 57%, but Bryce Richardson perfect, Peening perfect. McDaniel, Brock, Stoffridgen, and Wilson are all over 75%. So they have gotten a lot of good value out of being able to shoot those free throws. The shooting that they do need to improve on, though, 3 points. They are only 21% as a team from beyond the arc. That is what kind of doomed them against Winton Woods and what made it so they couldn't go out further up in the Loveland game. McDaniel over 8 from beyond the arc against Loveland, and you really want to see that number get a lot better, even as McDaniel's doing a lot of other things right. 9 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 steals. He won the Culture Champion Award of the game for Walnut Hills. Only considered to be a lunch pail guy, you know. All the cliches that he's a hard worker, averaging 6.7 boards a game through 3. Got at least 8 in the Milford game and the Loveland game. Just got to work on discovering that shooting stroke. He can be a special player if he shoots at a better clip. Right now, he's just 18% from the field, but you know he's got a lot more because he knows how to find himself some open looks. He has to start sinking said open looks. We'll take a break and come back when I have a stream. Welcome back to Walnut Hills Basketball on Graham Sportscasting Channel. We are about 3 minutes away from tip-off between the Walnut Hills Eagles and the McNicholas Rockets. McNicholas home court, the Coach Jerry Durger court. Walnut playing away from home for the second time this year. They beat Milford in their first trip out. See if they can make it two in a row on the road. McNicholas with a pretty nice set of bleachers. They have the traditional block letters in the seats. The only problem is that Rockets is a 7-letter word, and there's only two sections of the bleacher, so they have the K and E packed really close together. It makes it look all weird. Regardless, it's a pretty nice touch for the McNick Rockets. Walnut scheduled thus far, they lost 68-33 to Winton Woods on Friday the 6th. Tuesday the 10th, they beat Milford 64-55. Then yesterday they got Loveland 41-31 in a really encouraging game for the Walnut defense. One hope they can put in an encore performance and perhaps even score a bit more in the early goings to make it so that it's not a defensive struggle the whole game, because hit some threes, hit the looks that you get, and defensive struggles will turn into blowouts. Wanted to finish their warm-up shots. They huddle around Coach Holt. Stofford shoots up one more layup just for the fun of it, and Walnut heads to their bench. McNick doing the same. Starting lineups coming soon. Walnut has started Wilson twice, McDaniel thrice, Stoffridge thrice, Austin thrice, Rivers twice, and Peening and Brock once each.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jerry Durger Court inside Larry Beltonshuk's Gymnasium with tonight's contest between your McNicholas Rockets and the Walnut Hills Eagles. McNicholas and Walnut Hills are a member of the High School Athletic Association, abide by the rules and regulations to maintain high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with all schools. We ask you that you please encourage the student athletes in the spirit of good sportsmanship during the game. Good sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. We expect you to refrain from making any derogatory comments towards the athletes, coaches, or officials participating in this competition. Failure to do so could result in removal from the competition. The officials assigned to this contest have been selected according to the procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and Southwest Ohio officials. The officials for tonight's contest are Kelly Whalen, Joe Ward, and Brian Rollins. We ask you please encourage the players and not focus on the officials or coaches. Thank you for respecting the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country unlike any other, with freedoms and sacrifices, thanks to our armed services. We ask that you please rise and remove your hats to the pregame prayer, followed by the playing of our national anthem.
McNick, obviously a Catholic school.
High school, and let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Those who trust the Lord will find new strength. They will be strong like eagles, soaring upward on wings. They will walk and run without getting tired. That's good advice as we begin this match. Trust in the Lord and find your strength. Trust in the Lord and find your brilliance. And may Almighty God bless you all, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Again, welcome to Rocket Nation. the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Strong, faithful God, in your goodness, you bless us with many gifts and talents. Breathe your Spirit upon tonight's competition. We ask that you bless these participants with the safety and guidance to fulfill your name. We thank you for this great opportunity to represent our communities. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Starting lineups coming shortly.
And here are your starting lineups. First, the Eagles from Walnut Hills. At guard, number 1, Carol Wilson.
To a good start with
Number 3, Landon
these
McNicholas.
pronunciations.
Forward, number 11, Charlie Stofregan.
Can't help myself.
Forward, number 12, Will Rivers. And guard, number 14, Todd Austin.
Same 5 starters as yesterday for Walnut. Wilson, McDaniel, Stoffrigen, Wivers, Austin. 3 of whom are making their 4th start of the year in 4 games.
Here are your Rockets. At guard, number 5, a 6'1" sophomore, Owen Beaver. At center, number 22, a 6'8" sophomore, Aaron Hunter. And ball, number 25, the 5'11" sophomore, Woody Conrad. And ball, number 30, a 6-foot senior, Nate Holger. And a guard, number 55, a 6'2" sophomore co-captain, Glenn Waters. Assistant coaches from Rockets, Christopher Ross.
I would like to highlight number 22 for the Rockets, Garrett Gunter.
Head coach of the Rockets, Mr. Tim Monahan.
I do college games sometimes, so I'm used to seeing 6'8" players, but 6'8" players who are sophomores in high school is not very common. And Garrett Gunter will really test Walnut's ability to, especially their penchant for offensive rebounding. He will really take a lot of those opportunities away from Walnut if they aren't up to the challenge. So at the center circle is Garrett Gunter, 6'8", against Will Rivers, 6'5". They usually put Austin there, but I guess they feel compelled. Tip is in the air and controlled by Walnut Hills, Landon McDaniel. And we are underway. Center circle ball goes to Jarrell Wilson. Passes left side, Austin. Austin, looking for an outlet pass, now drives inside Austin, kicks it over, and it's handled by McDaniel on the right flank. McDaniel inside. McDaniel into the basket, and he flips it over Stoffrigen. Stoffrigen left flank, dribbles to center circle. Stoffrigen now drives right. Driving toward the basket. Stoffrigen looks for a kick out and finds it in the form of McDaniel. McDaniel drives inside now. McDaniel puts up a layup off the high backboard. No good. Rebound Rivers, and he's got the shot, and he puts it in. Will Rivers for the first 2 of the game. The second day in a row he's done that. 2-0 Eagles in front. And the other way, Grant Waters walks it down court. Waters steps back and now kicks it over. Gunter goes there to Brody Conrad. Up top, it is good for Garrett Gunter in the paint. And that's what you're talking about. 6'8", 3 inches taller than Rivers and anyone else. And now Wilson driving the other way, and it's too short. Rebound tipped around and taken by Rivers of Walnut Hill. He kicked it out. Stoffridgen fires a 3. Stoffridgen, no good. Gunter gets the rebound, gets bumped, and the ball goes to McNicholas as it goes to Nate Collier. Other end, it is Waters. Spins it over to Conrad. Conrad, 3-ball, fired, got it. For Grant Waters. 5-2 McNick leads. First 3 of the game for Grant Waters. And the Eagles trail. McDaniel the other way, guarded closely by Nienaber. Stoffridgen into the paint. Stoffridgen fighting. Looks for a kick out and finds it. It's Austin. Austin driving inside against Waters. Austin lays it up off the high iron. No good. Rebound taken away by Collier and saved by Waters of McNicholas, who lead 5-2 and have ball. 2 minutes gone in the game. Waters gets a screen from Gunter. Now tries to feed. And the ball goes inside to Gunter against McDaniel. McDaniel blocks it out of bounds. And the ball will stay with McNick. So McDaniel up to the challenge against the 6'8" Gunter. Inbound pass coming from Nienaber. Rivers now flanking Gunter. And they get it to him. And he goes left side to Collier. Collier. Dribble center circle, now passes other way. Waters against McDaniel. Waters spinning inside. Waters floater is no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of McDaniel for Walnut Hills. McDaniel running up court. Down the floor. McDaniel over his man, and it is good. And a blocking foul is added on the drive by McDaniel. So McDaniel puts 2 up there. He should. The score has not gone to the... McDaniel's headed the line for 2. Should count, unless the shot didn't go in and I'm blind. Foul on Conrad is first. And the shot did go in. 2 for McDaniel. He's got a chance to make it 3 right here at the free throw line and tie this game at 5. McDaniel got it. Good start to the game for him. He's got a block, a rebound, and 3 points. Waters up the floor, driving Waters. Inside, has it poked away and taken away by Jarrell Wilson of Walnut Hills. Wilson gets past his man up court. Into the paint, Rivers. Rivers kicks out. Here's a 3-ball for McDaniel. No good. Rebound taken by Austin. And then a foul is going to be called on a tie-up. It was him and Waters. And it is just going to be a straight tie-up. Ball goes to McNick. Clark and Bierman enter. Gunter and Conrad lead for McNick. Charlie Clark, McNick's second leading scorer, 7.7 a game. Now the ball tipped away on the ground, recovered by Clark, and they call a foul on Rivers. Or some kind. Maybe it's out of bounds. Nienaber gets the inbounds pass. Well, they called a foul on anyone. Nienaber. Now the ball goes around to Charlie Clark. Clark dribble center circle, has it landed the basket. Clark through contact, no good. And it's out of bounds. It'll stay with McNick. They'll say Rivers got a hand on it. Better than a foul, I suppose. And the inbounds pass coming from Nienaber. Nienaber holding. And now finally lobs it up and a whistle, and they turn it over. Nienaber took too long to get rid of it. And the Walnut defense plays great on the inbound. They get the ball back against some McNick pressure. And the lob pass goes quickly up to McDaniel, so they break it before it even happens. McDaniel driving inside McDaniel. Through contact. Got it, McDaniel. And a foul. Landon McDaniel making a name for himself on offense this time. He's got a chance at yet another and one. Nate Collier was called for the foul. McDaniel with a line for... Had a chance for his second and one in as many minutes. Landon McDaniel connects. He's got 6. One in front, 8-5. And here comes some pressure from the Eagles. The inbounds pass goes right into a trap, but they do break it. The ball goes to Nienaber, flings it up court. Collier, open 3. Collier, he misses an air ball. Rebound taken by Stoffridgen of Walnut Hills. who leads 8-5 with ball. Austin the other way. Ty Austin driving inside Austin. And now Collier gets position. Austin now goes left side. Austin bounce pass taken away, and it's going to be an easy lay-in for Waters. As Waters, the pass was just too slow to get to McDaniel. They'll credit Austin with the turnover, and the fast break by Waters gives him 5. 8-7, Eagles leading. Austin drives it up court, goes to Wilson. Seeing a lot of the same stuff we saw from Loveland yesterday. Inside pass goes Stoffridgen, wants to back his man down. Stoffridgen making space, hook shot. Got it, Stoffridgen! For his first 2 of the night, 10-7 Eagles. Inside pass goes to Nienaber. Other end, Waters, ball on the ground, Waters. He gets it back, and he's fouled on the pass out of it. Or, no, we're going to get a timeout instead by McNick. As Waters was in deep trouble. He would have gotten out of it without the timeout. 4:01 to play, first quarter. Walnut 10, McNick 7. Landon McDaniel early, 2 and 1s. As he started to, you could see him start to develop that inside game during the Loveland win in the second half of that game. He was turning that defensive effort into inside effort, not shooting as many threes. And you can see that turning into points in the paint for Walnut. Austin yet to get on the board, but you know it'll happen. We'll see who Walnut goes without a timeout. For McNick, Nienaber, Collier, Clark, Waters, and Bierman. For Walnut, it is Brock, McDaniel, Austin, Wilson, and Stoffridgen. Inbounds pass goes to Nienaber against some pressure, but they dribble out of it, and it goes to Clark. Back to Nienaber. Walnut gets back in position. Inside pass goes to Bierman. Ball poked at. Now Waters gets switched off with Brock. And now it is Clark. Driving inside Clark. Kicking out and a bad pass. They don't call out of bounds, but it's going to be an over the back regardless as Bierman corrals it in the backcourt. They said Collier saved it. I thought he might have had a foot out of bounds. But anyway, it goes to Walnut in the front court. Damian Brock inbounding. And he goes to Austin, who releases off of his man, Nienaber. Austin holding, feeds inside Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen gives it inside to Austin on a drive, and the lay-in is good for Ty Austin. Pretty feed there from Stoffridgen. First 2 for Austin. Immediate trap there by Walnut. They have to fling it up court to Waters. Bierman gets it in the paint, and he lays it in. Right over Stoffridgen. First 2 for Bierman. 12-9. Eagles still in front. Brock driving up court. Make that McDaniel. He passes top of the key to Wilson. And Jarrell Wilson goes to left flank and tosses it high up there to Stoffridgen, guarded by Waters. Stoffridgen wants to back him down. Kicks it over Austin. Fires a 3, Austin. Got it! Can't keep him down for long. 5 for Ty Austin. 15-9, Eagles lead. McNick breaks the press easy. Clark goes right flank. And they kick it over to for a 3 for Nienaber, and he buries it. Owen Nienaber for 3. 15-12, Eagles lead. Wilson the other way. Jarrell Wilson driving inside Wilson, and he sends a man flying and puts up the shot, and it goes in. A.J. Gundler was his defender. Gundler went spinning out of control against Wilson's drive. And the pass goes right to Wilson on the other end, and he's fouled. As it was Nienaber who threw it right into the hands of Wilson, and that Walnut press created a turnover and a shooting foul. Gundler was called for the foul. Oh. So Gundler, number 14, called for McNick's 3rd foul of the quarter. Walnut on top, 17-12, and Jarrell Wilson shooting 2 free throws. First one, high and no good. It was too short. Richardson and Rivers enter. Stoffridgen and McDaniel leave. So that's a more defense-focused lineup by Coach Stu Holt. Wilson's 2nd free throw forthcoming. Looking for his 3rd point. And it is too long this time. Richardson collects the rebound for Walnut Hills, though, and they get it back. Ball goes to Wilson, driving inside, makes space, and shoots a 20-footer and got it. Jarrell Wilson gets the 2 points back. It's 19-12. Eagles in front. Waters gets the inbound pass against some light pressure. Goes to Gundler. He goes up court, and it goes into the hands of Gunnar Bates. Kicks it over into the corner and goes back to Bates. Gunnar Bates has it poked away. Bates, and diving for it is Wilson, and they will get a tie-up, and the ball goes to Walnut. Joey Peening comes in for Walnut, replacing Jarrell Wilson. Walnut by 7, and they have not committed a foul yet this quarter. They have 1:54 left to go. Peening getting the inbound in the way backcourt, guarded by A.J. Gundler. Peening walks it and throws left side Richardson. Bryce Richardson against Waters. Richardson drives inside, creates some space, kicks it over Austin. Into the paint. Now kicks it out. Brock. Brock kicks it over back to Austin. Shoots an 18-footer, and it's no good. Rebound tipped around and into the hands of Charlie Clark, and a foul is going to be called. Bryce Richardson will get dinged for that one, his first. First foul of the quarter on Walnut with 1:36 to go. Grant Waters heads to the bench for McNick. Replaced there by Matthew Ellers, who's getting the inbound pass here. McNick breaks the press and goes up court. And here is Bates, kicks it all the way over, and a 3-ball fired and missed. Rebound taken by Austin of Walnut Hills. Kellen Hoke missed the 3. Austin driving, striding toward the basket, got it with the hook. Tie Austin with 7. Walnut by 9, 21-12. 1:09 to play first quarter, and Walnut still pressing. Although it's Bates, and Bates avoids the steal from Pining, and now the ball goes back. And it's Clark, shovels it back past to Bates, and Bates harassed. Bates in the paint, kicks it over, and now flung up to Clark for an open 3, and he buries it. 3 for Charlie Clark, 21-15, Walnut leads. 43 seconds to play. Other pass goes Brock. Brock drives inside and puts up a 10-footer and got it. Damian Brock has the answer in his first 2, 23-15. Walnut only slight pressure this time. They want to get back in position for this defensive possession. Gunnar Bates holds with 24 seconds left. Feed inside, tipped back to Bates. And now Bates wants to drive inside. Bates being harassed again, and he's going to get fouled against Ty Austin. 19 seconds left. First foul on Austin. Walnut has plenty of fouls to give. Gunnar Bates the inbounder. Walnut 23, McNick 15. Bates inbounds, and an easy shot put up by Clark and made. As Damian Brock was not really paying attention there, and Clark got it and put up a 6-footer for an easy hit. He's got 5. 23-17. Brock into the paint. Brock tipped away from him and taken away by McNick. And now it's poked away again, and the ball goes to Bates. He feeds in it. Clark for another 3, and he buries it. Charlie Clark, and that is not how you want to end a quarter. He's got 8, and McNick cuts it to 23-20 in the closing seconds of the first quarter. As the momentum has shifted here at Coach Jerry Berger Court. Durger, not Berger. So, I'm sure Walnut will be getting a talking to off of those last few possessions. First, you have Brock fall asleep on the inbound, and then a poke away on the other end, trying to go too fast when you had 8 seconds left. Just the second 20-point quarter of the year for Walnut. The fourth quarter against Milford, they scored 24. This quarter, they scored 23. But the caveat is that they also gave up 20, so. Out of the timeout for McNick, it is Charlie Clark, Kellen Hauk, Matthew Ellers, A.J. Gundler, and Owen Nienaber. For Walnut, it is McDaniel, Peening, Austin, Wilson, and Stoffridgen. Wilson will inbound to start quarter number 2 for the Eagles, who lead by 3. The inbound pass goes to Austin. As Austin tosses it up to Stoffridgen on the left flank. Stoffridgen wants to make some space. Now fires a 3. McDaniel got it! Landon McDaniel while falling backwards. And he's on the board with another 3. He's got 9 points. It's already a career high. Inbound pass goes to Nienaber, back to Clark. Clark over to Hauk. Hauk makes some space, goes back to Nienaber, guarded closely by Wilson. Owen Nienaber drives inside, gets past Wilson. Nienaber, floater, got it. With one hand, a pretty shot by Owen Nienaber. He's got 5, 26-22 Eagles. McDaniel inside. McDaniel throws it left side to Ty Austin. And Austin holding and fires inside to Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen wants to back down, flings it over other side. McDaniel, he puts up another 3, and this one is way short. Rebound taken by Charlie Clark and McNick. Other end, driving up court. The feed goes to Hauk, and Hauk drives inside, and he's fouled by McDaniel before he can put up a reverse layup. First team foul on Walnut, a minute into the quarter. First personal on McDaniel. Grant Waters re-enters, so does Nate Collier. Inbounds pass goes to Ehlers, back to Collier, tipped away from him by Austin, but they're going to call a foul on Austin, and that's number 2 on him. Was not a clean tip at all. They got a part of his body, and now Austin's got to be careful, and he will actually just sub out. Replaced by Will Rivers. Brady Conrad will be the inbounder for McNick, so it's actually not Waters, it's Conrad. Conrad goes up top to Collier. Collier throws left side, Nienaber. Nienaber wants to feed inside and does. It goes to Conrad. Now out there, and it goes to Collier on the other end. Other end, Nienaber back to Collier. Collier looks for the outside feed and does, and now it goes toward the basket, and a fadeaway is good for Brady Conrad. First 2 for him, 26-24. Peening runs the other way. Peening passes left, Wilson. Wilson goes back to Stoffridgen. Now he wants to back his man down. Stoffridgen flings it out, tipped away from Peening, and then saved, and it's saved by McNick. Collier. Collier gets it the other way. Walnut got to get back, tipped into the air, and saved by Collier again. And now the inside feed goes to Ehlers, high off the backboard. No good. Remember McDaniel of Walnut Hills. 6 to play, second quarter. 26-24, Eagles leading. McDaniel calling a play out, throws left side Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen driving inside, kicks it behind his back, Wilson. Wilson creating space, now goes to Peening. Peening with a drive to the basket, floater for Peening, got it! No, he didn't get it. He did get it. I did not see the net move, and the scoreboard didn't update. Anyways, Peening got the shot, first 2 for him. Other way, it's Hauk. Hauk into the paint. Hauk flings it across court, and they find their open 3. Nienaber misses in and out. Rebound to McDaniel off his foot. And it will go to Walnut as it was Conrad flying in to contest the shot. 5.5 to play. 28-24 after the 2-pointer by Peening. They actually called a foul on Brady Conrad. So that is his second foul. First foul on McNick of the quarter. And big Garrett Gunter comes back in for McNick. Wilson walks the other way. Wilson inside, goes to Stoffridgen against some heavy guarding from Collier. Stoffridgen inside, and a travel. Stoffridgen turns it over in the front court. They called a foul on Stoffridgen? I did not see that if that was the case. Maybe he used his elbows too much. Waters gets the inbound for McNick. Crosses the other way, Nienaber against some light pressure from Walnut. Nienaber just dribbles it across court. Tip of McDaniel, but he can't get it. And now Waters has the ball on the ground, and they're going to get a foul before Wilson can recover it. Waters is slow to get up. Maybe a tripping? McDaniel covered the foul. He's got 2, and Richardson comes in for him. Foul trouble wasn't an issue yesterday for Walnut, but it's starting to become one here against McNick. Conrad will inbound, And he goes to Nienaber. Nienaber got away by Wilson. Nienaber creating some space for himself and now tosses left side. Waters tipped away by Richardson, and he saves it. Richardson, nice steal against the Rockets' best player. Other end, it is Wilson driving inside. Wilson creates some space, kicks out. Now Stoffridgen inside. Stoffridgen loses the ball, gets it back, kicks out. Peening fires a three. Peening way too short. Stoffridgen gets the rebound for Walnut, puts it back up and gets fouled before he can put the shot up. Second foul against Nate Collier. Peening the inbounder, looks for Rivers. Peening got to get rid of it. Make that Stoffridgen, and he gets it out to Wilson. Wilson got to land to the basket. Wilson from 16 feet. It's too strong. Rebound snatched by Stoffridgen. Puts it back up and misses. Rebound tipped away into the hands of Waters. Waters one-on-one with Peening, and Peening bumps him and fouls him hard. Joey Peening. Not sure what the intent was there, but it was not to get a foul called, I'm sure. Grant Waters headed to the line, now in the bonus. First foul on Joey Peening. This year, Grant Waters, 75% on free throws, 6 for 8. Waters. And his first one is good, giving him 6. Have to wonder how deep into the bench is Stu Holt willing to go if some of these guys get in foul trouble. Second shot by Waters is good. Cutting it to a 2-point game, 28-26. Wilson takes it up the other way. And Wilson motions men around, gets a screen from Rivers in the deep backcourt, and he goes over the back, but he is fouled first. That'll go against Conrad. And that is his third. So, third foul on Conrad, with still over half the second quarter left to go. He has to exit now. And they will bring in A.J. Gundler to replace him. Stoffridgen inbounds to Wilson. One up by 2 and the ball. And Wilson feeds it up there, Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen fakes a pass, now drives inside Stoffridgen, spins back and puts up an underhanded layup, and it's good while getting fouled. Charlie Stoffridgen. 4 for Stoffridgen. Charlie Clark called for the foul. Stoffridgen's free throw is good. And Walnut leads by 5. Stoffridgen has 5. And Waters runs into a trap and passes out of it. Walnut got to get back in position now, and it's Gundler who slows down and resets and allows Walnut to do just that. Waters the other way. Kicks it all the way over. A 3-ball is missed and taken away by Gunter, and the putback is no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of Richardson for Walnut Hills. Richardson rushes up court. Richardson into a trap. He goes to Wilson, who can't handle it. And he has to get it back. Wilson driving inside. Wilson kick out. Rivers over to Peening. Peening moves inside. Kicks it back to Wilson. Nice ball movement here for Walnut. Wilson rushing inside to the free throw line. Spins around twice. And now goes out to Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen calls a new play. Gets a screen from Richardson. Stoffridgen drives inside. Stoffridgen has it poked away by Nienaber, and it's taken away by McNick. A.J. Gundler got the takeaway. Nienaber the other way. Up behind a screen. Shoots a deep 3 and buries it. Owen Nienaber with 8. A new career high for him. 31-29 Eagles in front. 3 to play. First half. Wilson walks it the other way. Jarrell Wilson creates space against Gundler and now throws to Richardson. Richardson now to the top of the key. Richardson feeds inside, and it's taken away by Waters. He was trying to go to Peening. Nienaber into the paint. Wilson gets back there, and it's no good. Rebound into the hands of Gunter, and he's fighting with Richardson, and eventually they're going to call a tie-up. Ball will stay with McNick. Austin and Brock enter. Stoffridgen and Peening exit. Waters will inbound. Gunter standing there under the basket against Will Rivers, 3 inches smaller. As the inbounds pass goes right under the basket, and Nienaber is stripped of the ball, but he's fouled. Bryce Richardson will be called for the foul on Nienaber. Nienaber this year, a 50% free throw shooter. 1 for 2. 2 shots coming for Nienaber. If he hits both of the tie game, first shot, he's good. 9 for Owen Nienaber. As McNicholas found value out of some of these lesser-known players. Second shot for Nienaber is no good, and Rivers takes the rebound. One up by a point, 31-30. Wilson drives the other way. Jarrell Wilson into the paint. Wilson throws it back out to Austin. Austin creates some space. Austin from 8 feet, got it. Ty Austin with the answer. He's got 11. Make that Austin with 9. McDaniel with 9. I put it in the wrong spot. Other end is Nienaber again. 33-30 your score. 2:14 to play. Gunter gets it. And he travels. Garrett Gunter against Richardson was on the right flank. Not used to playing there, and he does pick up the travel and the turnover. Ball to Walnut up by 3. Richardson on the inbound to Wilson. Wilson walks it up court against Gundler, getting a screen from Rivers. Jarrell Wilson steps back, launches a 3, in and out. Rebound taken away by Gunter of McNick, who gets harassed by Wilson, but then breaks the press easily. Other way, it's Waters walking it up court, getting a screen from Clark. Clark gets the ball, shoots a 3, Clark, and buries it. And this game is tied at 33. Charlie Clark with 11. Wilson the other way, goes to Richardson. Richardson driving. Richardson into a double team, kicks back over to Wilson, and they have to reset. Austin gets the ball on the right flank. Gets a screen from Rivers. Austin into the paint with a head of steam, kicks it over. Wilson fires a 3, make that Richardson, and it's no good. Rebound into the hands of Gunter, who just goes above everyone once again. Waters walks it up the other way for McNick. Looks for a screen and a bumping. Waters into the paint. Floater is good for Waters. Has 9, and McNick has the lead, 35-33. Late in the second quarter, Jarrell Wilson. Wilson the other way. Passes left side, Richardson. Richardson drives the paint with a free lane. The hook shot is good. And we're back even at 35. Bryce Richardson with his first 2. Nienaber gets the inbound with 52 seconds left. Waters back to Nienaber. Nienaber crosses the center court line, gets trapped by Austin, dribbles through it, and Nienaber is fouled by Austin. And that's number 3 on the star junior. Do not want to see that man picking up 3 fouls in the first half. Austin not happy with the coaches about something. In any case, Nienaber with the first shot is no good. Stoffridgen enters for Austin. And you wonder if we're going to see a guy like Jeremiah Plummer come in, or Ackland, if too many guys get into foul trouble. Second shot by Nienaber is good. Untying the game and giving Nienaber 10, 36-35, Rockets in front. 41 seconds to play, second quarter. Wilson walks it up the court. And Wilson goes right, goes left, gets a screen from Rivers. Wilson dribbles past. Wilson kicks out, and it's Brock. Now goes to Richardson. 27 seconds left. Richardson just dribbling. Driving inside, Richardson kicks it over Brock. Other way, Wilson, and now they're going to hold for final possession. Jarrell Wilson. 18 seconds left. Wilson guarded by Gundler. Deep in the backcourt. Wilson. 13 seconds left. Wilson dribbling inside, and he traveled. Maybe called a palming, but anyway, it's a turnover for Jarrell Wilson. 11 seconds left. And Waters makes that. Charlie Clark will inbound. Rockets by a point with the ball. 11 seconds to go in the second quarter. Inbound pass goes to Nienaber. Nienaber walks it up court against Rivers. Nienaber, 6 seconds left, feeds it over Waters. Waters fires a 3, and it's good. And that'll end the half as Waters was contorting his body to get around Richardson and eventually found an angle that he liked. Buried a 3 to make it a 4-point McNick lead here into the break. 39-35. Waters with 12, Clark with 11, Nienaber with 10 for McNick, Austin with 9, McDaniel with 9 for Walnut. We'll take a break and be back soon with Walnut Hills basketball on Graham Sportscasting Channel. Welcome back to Walnut Hills Basketball on Graham's Sportscasting channel. We're at the break. The McNicholas Rockets lead the Eagles 39-35. As Charlie Clark, Owen Nienaber, and Grant Waters have combined for 33 of McNick's 39 points. So, not a lot of production from elsewhere, but they don't need to because those three are making life difficult for the Eagle defense. Meanwhile, all 8 players that have come into the game for Walnut have recorded at least some points. Peening, Rivers, Bruck, and Richardson all have 4. Austin and McDaniel have 9. Wilson has 4. Stoffergen has 5. Make that 2 for the 4 aforementioned players. So the big thing is to tighten up on defense and force more difficult shots out of these guys. They've gotten too many open looks, and they've hit most of them because that's what good teams do. Cannot let the Rockets record fool you. This is a good team from a good conference. This Walnut is the first of 3 ECC opponents that McNick will be playing this year. They will be playing Turpin and Anderson later on this season. This is the first of 6 non-conference games on Walnut's schedule. Unlike in prior years, they do not have a holiday event to go to like they did in South Carolina last year. Maybe no one wants them. Their next non-conference game is next Saturday, where they'll be taking on Mount Healthy. That game will most likely not be getting called here because I'm going to be watching Ohio State. So the halftime clock runs out, and we're about ready to get the show on the road. 16 minutes, Walnut down 4. Has to come up with something better than what they've put on the field so far. Out of the timeout, we have Nate Collier, Grant Waters, Owen Nienaber, Charlie Clark, and Garrett Gunter. For Walnut, it is Rivers, Brock, McDaniel, Stoffergen, and Wilson. So Austin is not in. He racked up 3 fouls in the first half. Stoffergen inbounds to Wilson to get this third quarter underway. Wilson, isolated on the left. Stoffergen barely handles it with one hand, but he does recover the pass. Stoffergen into the paint. Stoffergen kicks it out, and now it goes to McDaniel. He drives inside McDaniel. Feeds inside Rivers under the basket. Misses the shot. Rebound taken by Gunter of McNicholas, who leads by 4. Other end is Waters. Waters against McDaniel. Waters dribbling, and now goes other end Nienaber. Nienaber holding against Wilson, and now feeds it over to Gunter, back over to Nienaber. Nienaber wants to feed inside, now kicks it over Waters instead. Waters into the paint. Puts up an underhand layup, and he got it. Grant Waters with 14, and McNick has their largest lead of the night by 6. 41-35. McDaniel drives the other way and gets a screen from Rivers. And McDaniel dribbling inside from 12 feet, and it's in and out. Rebound off the feet of Rivers, and Stoffergen takes it for Walnut Hills. All the way up court, the feed goes to McDaniel, kicks it over Brock. Damian Brock against Nienaber, and he spins it top of the key to Stoffergen. Stoffergen fakes a pass, and now Stoffergen throws right side McDaniel. In the back corner, McDaniel still holding. Stoffergen wants to give him a screen, and he takes it. Now rolls middle of the field. Stoffergen. McDaniel from floating backwards. Got it, Landon McDaniel. Adds to his career best day. He's got 11. 41-37, a minute and a half into the second half. Quick pass goes up court, Gunter. And Garrett Gunter drives inside on Stoffergen, spins around and shoots and misses. Rebound taken by Rivers of Walnut Hills. Down by 4. Wilson avoids a steal. Collier gets it back in position. Wilson drives from the free throw line, and he's got it after knocking over Collier with no call. 6 for Jarrell Wilson. 41-39 the score. McNick still in front. 6 to play, third quarter. Other end, Nienaber fires it up court, and in a drive inside for Charlie Clark through contact, and it's no good. Rebound taken away by Gunter, and he spins back around and makes it off a friendly roll. Garrett Gunter with 4. 43-39, McNick in front. McDaniel gets a screen from Rivers. Drives inside. McDaniel spinning. McDaniel looks for an outlet. Finds it in the form of Wilson. Wilson drives inside. Wilson back over to Rivers with a jump shot, and he's got it. Will Rivers. 43-41 the score. McDaniel almost got a steal there, but instead it goes into the front court. Charlie Clark. And Walnut gets back to position. Knee neighbor. Passes left side Clark. Charlie Clark isolated. Now goes other end Waters. Waters wants to make something happen. Spins around. Gives it back to Clark. Clark inside. Under the basket. Clark. Reverse layup. Good while he's being fouled, but they will say it's a floor foul. Damian Brock called for the foul. That is his first. And knee neighbor the inbounder. Walnut's had problems on these inbound plays. They've let too many shots go into the basket. Knee neighbor inbounds to Collier in the corner. Collier spinning around. Collier gets it over to Gunter. And now it goes to Waters, who gets a screen from Gunter. Off of Gunter's feet. And it will be McNicholas basketball after the kickball by Gunter. Charlie Clark with the inbounder. McNicholas set up in a line as Richardson enters and Brock exits for Walnut, who are down by 2 with 5 to go in the third quarter. Clark will inbound, and let's see what kind of play they're running as it goes to Gunter. Back to Clark. Clark inside. Clark wants to feed. Now looks and fires right side to Waters. Waters guarded closely by Wilson, and he feeds the top of the key, Gunter. Gunter driving inside with a lane to the basket. Gunter fouled by McDaniel, and the basket will not go. But Gunter will be head of the line for 2. Third foul on McDaniel with 4:49 to go, third quarter. Garrett Gunter has 2 for 3 on free throws heading into this game. McDaniel will stay in. And 2 shots coming for Garrett Gunter. Walnut just looking for a spark to tie or take the lead here. Gunter shoots the first and misses it off the back iron and took an unfriendly bounce. Second shot forthcoming for Gunter. And it is no good off the front iron, and Stofferton collects the rebound, but then gets tied up. And the ball will go to McNick. It was Collier who got enough hands on the ball to contest Stofferton and allow McNick to get it back. Waters will be the inbounder, and he goes back to Gunter. Feeds Collier. Collier wants to drive inside. Collier toward the basket. Floating layup, no good. Rebound taken by Richardson of Walnut Hills. Wilson up court. Wilson through contact. Wilson fired. Stofferton fires an open 3. Got it! 8 for Stofferton. Walnut back in front. 44-43 with half the third quarter gone. Some light pressure coming from Walnut. Knee neighbor taking his time and fires it across court to Waters, who gets it up to Clark. Clark into the paint. Clark through a double team. Clark has it stripped of the ball. Gets it back, and he's poked and fouled. That'll go against either Rivers or Stofferton. Stofferton takes the foul. It's his second. Second team foul on Walnut. 4:10 to go, third quarter. Brady Conrad enters, replacing Collier. Conrad working with 3 fouls. Charlie Clark, the inbounder. Bierman also in the game. Inbounds pass goes to Conrad, who has it blocked away by Stofferton, but they're going to get another foul on Stofferton. That one will be a shooting foul, and Stofferton quickly has racked up his third. And first shot coming up for Conrad, and he makes it. Third point for Conrad. 44 all. Conrad second, connects. And McNick back in front by a point, 45-44 off the free throws for Conrad. Wilson drives the other way against Conrad. Hands it off McDaniel at the very sideline. McDaniel driving. McDaniel spinning. McDaniel in the paint. Way too short. Rebound taken away by Gunter. And he feeds it the other side to Waters. That was Bierman on the rebound, not Gunter. Waters driving. Waters hands it behind his back now at the top of the key. And a drive coming inside for Nienaber. And Nienaber still holding against Wilson. Nienaber into the paint and switches on to Rivers. Now the pass goes into the left side, back to Waters. Waters into a double team, and he feeds Clark. Clark fires into the corner. Nienaber driving inside. Nienaber and it's blocked by Stofferton cleanly this time, and Wilson gets the rebound for Walnut. Wilson striding, layup, no good. Rebound taken away by Bierman of McNick. Quick feed all the way up court, Conrad into the paint, and he got it with a nice floater. Conrad, Walnut charging up court the other way. Brady Conrad with 6. And it's Wilson. Wilson against some aggressive defense from Nienaber. Nienaber and fouls him. Timeout by Walnut, actually, before Nienaber could slap the hand of Wilson. 47-44, McNick in front. Walnut momentarily had the lead, but has given up 4 straight. Austin has not played yet this quarter. At what point do you feel safe to insert him? For McNick, it is Clark, Nienaber, Bierman, Conrad, Waters. For Walnut, Wilson, Austin, Rivers, Stoffridgen, and Richardson. Wilson will be the inbounder for Walnut, who trail by 3 and have ball. Wilson, no one really there. Goes to Stoffridgen, top of the key. Stoffridgen driving inside. Stoffridgen spinning under the basket. High flip and good for Stoffridgen. He's got double figures, 47-46. The score. Nienaber against some light pressure, and they break it easily. Goes to Clark. Now it's Waters moving men around against Austin. Waters driving inside. He wants to test Austin, and he falls down, but he gets it out. And a 2-shot put up by Conrad, partially blocked. Bierman gets under the basket and lays it in. Bierman with 4, 49-46. Quick pass goes the other way. Stoffridgen behind a screen from Rivers. Stoffridgen into the paint. Wants to work. Kicks it out now. Wilson. Jarrell Wilson feeds Richardson on the left flank. Richardson driving inside himself. Goes back out to Wilson. Wilson driving from 10 feet. No good. Too short. Rebound taken Charlie Clark of McNick, who leads by 3 with 2 minutes left in the quarter. Other way. Nienaber walks it up court. Passes and gets it to Clark. Back inside over Austin, and it's no good. Rebound tipped into the hands of Wilson. They have numbers. Stoffridgen steps back now. Stoffridgen kicks it back to Wilson. Fires a 3. Wilson! Got it! And this game is tied at 49 with a 3-ball from Jarrell Wilson. He's got 9, a new career high for him. As they're just trading blows. Pass goes up court to Charlie Clark into the hands of Waters. Waters inside, pass goes to Bierman. Bierman behind his back goes to Nienaber. Nienaber kicks it over Waters, guarded by Austin. Waters deep 3 and missed, too short. Rebound taken by Richardson and handed off to Wilson of Walnut Hills. Wilson striding and now has to step back. Passes to Austin, top of the key, a minute left. Austin dribbling inside. Way hook shot, and he got it to go. Tie Austin with a great flick. Walnut retakes the lead, 51-49 with 55 to play. Clark gets the inside feed, kicks it over, and the 3 is faked, and now a drive to the basket, and it's good for Waters. Make that Conrad, not Waters. That ties the game at 51. 41 seconds to play, third quarter. 51 all. Conrad has 8. Wilson holding in no rush, passes right side, Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen drives inside, kicks it over. Austin driving toward the basket, and it's blocked, but he's fouled by Bierman, and it will be a shooting foul on Zach Bierman. They actually got Nienaber. It's his first. First foul of the quarter on McNick. 29 seconds to play, third quarter. Austin with a chance to break the tie with 2 free throws here. First shot is no good. It was a little short and didn't bounce the right way. As Nienaber and Clark exit, replaced by Gunnar Bates and A.J. Gundler for McNick. Second shot for Austin is good, giving him 12, and Walnut back in front by a point, 52-51. Austin heads to the bench and checks out, replaced by Joey Peening. Inbounds pass goes to Gunnar Bates. Bates goes back the other way, and to Waters, back to Bates, guarded by Peening. Bates driving. Bates fires all the way across court, and the ball goes into the hands of Waters. Waters against Rivers, gets past him, and now Rivers gets back in position. Bates, 8 seconds left. Bates, got to get in position. Bates inside on Peening. Bates spinning around, tries to feed inside, but he throws it out of bounds. With 1.9 to go, it'll go to Walnut, and we'll see if they can turn this into some miracle points to end the third quarter. And we get a whistle and a substitution with Collier coming in for Conrad. Got some man pressure. Peening gets the inbound, fires it, and it's blocked by Bates, and that's how the third quarter comes to an end. Walnut 52, McNick 51. We're headed for a thriller here at Coach Jerry Durger Court in Mount Washington. This is Walnut Hills basketball on Graham Sportscasting Channel. Julia Cheek, Helen Wilson, Allie Iredale, Emily Brimmer, Maddie Martinez, Addie Musk, Olivia Stein, Ellie Suttles, Sophia Brockman, Ayla Dickerson, Lauren Korshoff, Lillian McHugh, Alexi Richmond, Edie Smith, and head coach Lisa King. Assistant coach Emily Sims. Welcome back to Walnut Hills basketball on Graham Sportscasting Channel. It's shaping out to be an exciting finish between the Eagles and the McNicholas Rockets. For the fourth time today, Walnut will open the quarter with the ball. They have Richardson, Peening, Rivers, Austin, and Stoffridge on the court. Peening gets the inbound playing point. Joey Peening gets past his man, feeds inside, but Rivers can't handle it, and it's out of bounds. Ball to McNick. It was a great pass by Peening, but it was a little low, and Rivers had it go right through his legs. Bates gets the inbound for McNick and passes it the other direction to Waters. Feeds up court. Driving inside, Gundler. Blocked by Richardson. And Austin collects the rebound for Walnut. Make that Rivers, not. Other direction, it's Ty Austin. Manning point this time. Austin driving inside on Waters. Kicks it out, Peening, and he's fouled before the shot can go up. Waters gets called for the foul. His first on McNick. And you do want to be racking up these early fouls in the fourth quarter to get those free throws coming faster. Stoffridge and inbounds to Austin, gets it with one hand. Austin backs down Bates. Austin spins around and no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds by Bates. McNick crowd does not like that call, but the ball will stay with Walnut. Stoffridge into inbound. Might just want to go back to Austin. Instead, he throws all the way over top and Richardson collects it. Goes to Peening, who calls his play. Joey Peening, dribbling at center circle. Joey Peening throws right side Austin. Austin on his drive, but he loses control of the ball and has to get it back. Stoffridge gets the ball now on the left flank. Stoffridge gets a screen from Richardson, now drives left side. Stoffridge tries to swing it out and goes to Austin. Austin at the free throw line, hands it behind his back. Joey Peening. Peening on a drive inside. Peening looks for a kick out and finds it. Charlie Stoffridge. Stoffridge kicks it back out. Peening, open corner three. Peening, got it! 5 for Peening, and Walnut's got a 4-point lead, 55-51. Inbounds pass goes to Bates against some light Walnut pressure. Waters trying to find a pass out of it, and does. He goes to Gundler. Gundler driving and goes inside to Nienaber. make that Bates. And now Bates steps back. Bates goes over to Waters. Feed inside to Bierman. Bierman hands it behind his back to Waters. Back inside to Bierman. Under the basket. Bierman has it blocked away by Rivers. And the ball will stay with McNicholas. 3 guys in the paint contesting Zach Bierman there. As Brady Conrad re-enters the game. Up top, pass goes to Bierman. He wants to test the inside again. Now hands behind his back, Charlie Clark. Clark inside. On Rivers, has it poked away, but Rivers is going to get called for a blocking foul. That will be his first and Walnut's first of the quarter. McDaniel, Stoffridgen, and Austin all working with 3 fouls. 6:21 to go. They're actually going to get a shooting foul, even though there was not really a shot attempt. So Charlie Clark will take 2 shots, and he misses the first. Charlie Clark on the year. That was his first free throw miss. He was 7 for 7 entering this game. Second shot by Charlie Clark is good. Cutting it to a 3-point game. Clark with 12. 55-52. 6:18 to play in the game. Austin walks it the other way and passes right side Richardson. Richardson driving inside. Richardson hook shot, and it goes in! After a long wait, Bryce Richardson has 4. And the Eagles lead by 5. 57-52, 6 minutes to play. Inbounds pass crosses court with Waters to Nienaber, and it goes off the foot of Rivers before that pass can happen. No real effect there, just it'll be a new 10-second clock as Richardson gets surrounded by a bunch of Walnut Hills Eagles, and no pressure now for Nienaber handling the ball against Peening. Nienaber pressured by Peening, and now it's tipped away by Stoffridgen, and Stu Hook gets the timeout off. Great steal by Stoffridgen, great awareness by Coach Holt, and Walnut gets the takeaway, up by 5.
They have been serving our nickname community for many years. We ask you if you're in the market, we're proud that you trust one of the region's most reputable dealers and visit one of the market items out of the locations and help support the physical dealership of McNicholas Rockets.
Very alert of Coach Holt to call a timeout there, as these McNick players have really loved trying to get tie-ups with players struggling to get the ball out. So it'll be Richardson, Peening, Stoffridgen, Austin, Rivers for Walnut. Waters, Conrad, Clark, Nienaber, and one more. Make that Gunter. No, it's Bierman, not Gunter. Richardson inbound. Stoffridgen gets the ball for Walnut Hills. Stoffridgen backing down his man. Stoffridgen fighting and kicks it out. Richardson fakes a 3 Richardson and hands it behind his back to Ty Austin. Austin gives it right side. Joey Peening puts the ball low and now dribbles center circle. Peening loses the ball to Nienaber. It's going to be a tie-up, and the possession error currently favors McNick, so it'll go to them. All these possession arrows to McNick have been replaced by Walnut getting the first possession of every single quarter so far. Conrad will inbound. Peening heads to the bench. Replaced by Jarrell Wilson. And Nienaber walking it up court. Rockets down by 5. Nienaber finds his outlet pass. It is Bierman who hands it off to Clark. Clark hands it behind his back to Waters, guarded by Richardson. Waters feeds inside to Bierman against Rivers. He's isolated and now goes back to Nienaber. Nienaber behind the 3-point line, hands it behind his back to Clark. Clark driving inside. Clark toward the basket, blocked by Rivers! As he went high to get that one and forced it out of bounds before it could hit the backboard. It'll stay with McNick, with the inbounder being Owen Nienaber. Nienaber holding, still holding, and now a timeout's going to be used. Or a foul called, actually.
Number 14, Ty Austin.
Austin's going to get called for an off-ball foul, and that's number 4 on him. Do not like to see that. Austin exits, McDaniel enters. He also has 3 fouls. Now the inbound from the sideline, which is much friendlier. Charlie Clark will be the inbounder. He looks for Nienaber and instead holds and goes inside to Conrad. Conrad makes some space and lays it up and in with one hand. Double figures for Brady Conrad, 57-54, Eagles still in front. Under 5 to play in the game. Wilson passes left Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen at the top of the key. Stoffridgen gives it up to Wilson. Now Wilson wants to drive inside, steps back. Wilson kicks it over Richardson. Richardson doesn't have any space. Richardson steps back, uses that wingspan, and goes back to Wilson. On the other end, Wilson knocks a man down, and they're going to call a defensive foul on Brady Conrad before Wilson can get to the basket. 4th foul on Conrad. He's been very dangerous today, but now he exits in favor of Nate Collier. So one of their better scorers off the floor now. Wilson will be the inbounder. Looks for Stoffridgen and now flings it up there for Richardson instead. 4.5 to play, Walnut by 3. Richardson driving inside, kicks it over Austin. Now it goes to McDaniel. McDaniel wants to find Rivers inside, who passed him the ball right then, not Austin. McDaniel goes to Wilson at the top of the key. Wilson standing in center circle. Wilson throws left side. McDaniel dribbling, shooting outside to Richardson. Richardson, now he wants to drive, and he shoots from 10 feet, and he misses. Rebound tipped around into the hands of Rivers. McDaniel for Walnut Hills. Wilson inside to Rivers. Rivers can't corral the ball, and it's poked away and saved by McNick. An acrobatic play there made to get it into the hands of Charlie Clark. Under 4 to play. Walnut by 3, 57-54. Clark gets a screen from Bierman. Clark now drives inside, hands it behind his back, Nienaber. Nienaber standing at the top of the key, dribbles below center circle. Now goes over to Charlie Clark. Clark inside. Clark back there. Waters fakes a 3. Waters now rolls right. Waters now guarded closely by Jarrell Wilson. Waters throws left side to Charlie Clark. Looks for another screen from Bierman. It goes off the foot of Will Rivers as he was trying to get it inside to Bierman. Ball will stay with McNick. 3:28 to go in the 4th quarter. Walnut still ahead by 3. 57-54. The last points for Walnut was the Peening 3 a couple of minutes ago. Austin re-enters with 4 fouls, and Rivers has the ball go off his foot once again. No time ran off the clock as they were trying to get it to Bierman. Now they're hoping to do that again. And Clark holding and feeds Nienaber at center circle. Nienaber against Richardson, throws left side Charlie Clark. Clark back to Nienaber. Not much ball movement right now. Richardson fouls Nienaber on a drive to the basket. His 3rd. So now 4 Eagles with 3 or more fouls. McDaniel, Stoffridge, and Austin and Richardson. And Clark sets up in pretty much the same spot he's been inbounding from these past few possessions. Inbound pass goes to Nienaber. Now guarded by Rivers. Nienaber kicks it over Clark. Charlie Clark holding and now wants to drive inside. Clark spinning toward the basket. Clark can't get it to go. Rebound taken by McNick. Under the basket, can't get the shot off, and the ball goes to Walnut. It was Bierman who just didn't have the positioning to make a shot. And Walnut gets the ball back, up by 3 with 3:04 to go. Wilson gets the inbound for Walnut. Under 3 to play. Walnut looking to protect this 3-point lead for their 3rd straight win. Austin on the left flank. Dribbles below center circle. Passes inside. It's taken away by Bierman as it was intended for Rivers. And now Waters drives up the other way for McNick. He's guarded by Rivers. Waters against Rivers. And he passes to the center circle, Niemeyer. Bierman gets the handle at the top of the key. Hands it behind his back. Collier fakes a 3. Now goes to the corner. And the feed inside goes to Bierman. Bierman in the paint. Kicks it out. Here's an open 3 ball. Fired and missed. Rebound taken away by Wilson of Walnut Hills. It was Collier who missed the 3. And now Wilson's going to be fouled by Nienaber with 2:22 to go. 2nd foul on Nienaber. And Walnut still ahead by 3. Both teams scored double digits in every quarter so far. This quarter it's been 5 points for the Eagles, 3 points for the Rockets. We're almost complete, although Sure, there's still a lot more tension to arise in this game. Up court, Jarrell Wilson. Passes left side, Ty Austin, guarded by Charlie Clark. Inside feed, Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen harassed. Stoffridgen kicks it out. Rivers. Rivers hands it behind his back. Stoffridgen now. 2 minutes to play. Stoffridgen holding. Stoffridgen feeds right side. Around the horn, Richardson kicks over Wilson. McNick gets back on defense. Wilson gets a screen from Rivers. Drives inside Wilson. 18-footer Wilson. Way too strong and no good. Rebound taken away by Waters of McNick. Passes it up court, Charlie Clark. And Clark falls down, and before Walnut can tie him up, the Rockets wisely call a timeout with 1:44 to go. Possession arrow currently favors Walnut, as this is the closest we've seen a game be here on this young season for these Eagles. They're looking to close out a third straight game, which they entered the fourth quarter with the lead. McNick with ball, down 3. Each team has committed 3 fouls, but they have 1 more to give before free throws. Ty Austin leads all Eagle scorers with 12, McDaniel 11, Stofford 10, and Wilson 9. For McNick, Waters 14, Charlie Clark 12, Conrad 10, and Nienaber 10. Nienaber shut out so far in this half after he had an explosive first half. Conrad and Austin, 4 fouls apiece. Several other Eagles in foul trouble as well. We have Gunter, Clark, Waters, and Nienaber, and 1 more. Bierman for McNick. Wilson, Rivers, Austin, Stoffridgen, and 1 more, and Richardson. Inbound pass goes from Bierman to Clark, who's harassed. Clark now spins out of it, drives on Wilson, kicks it over. 3-ball fired and buried by Nienaber. We are tied at 57. 1.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Jarrell Wilson. Wilson holds and now dribbles left side and knocks a man over with his elbow. No call. Wilson now drives inside, kicks over Stoffridgen. Stoffridgen into the paint. Feeds Wilson behind his back, and they've recovered. Wilson has it fouled by Waters. He had a drive to the basket if he didn't get fouled. And now the McNick crowd is getting antsy. As this is the 3rd time Wilson has created leverage with his arms and hasn't gotten burned by it. 2nd foul on Waters. Stoffridgen inbounding. McDaniel enters the game for Walnut. Wilson with the ball. 1:10 to play. Game tied at 57. Wilson, left side, goes to Austin. Austin with a drive to the basket, and an offensive foul is going to be called, and that's going to be it for Ty Austin tonight. As he ran smack dab into Gunter, who was waiting for him at the line. And that's 5 on Ty Austin. With 1:05 to go, Ty Austin fouls out. Rivers enters the game to replace him. And now the defense got to make a stop. Nienaber gets the inbound against some light pressure. Gets the ball back and crosses half court. Gives it up to Charlie Clark. And ball is mishandled and now into the lane. Nienaber, guarded by McDaniel. He gets it back out there. Gives it back to Nienaber. 50 seconds left. Nienaber, you wonder if they'll just hold here. Nienaber calling out a play and motions Gunter inside. Now throws left side Conrad, and a timeout's going to be called by Walnut. 40.9 to play, 57-57. McNick with ball, possession arrow favoring the Eagles. 4 fouls a team. So the next foul will go to free throws. That was a timeout for McNicholas, excuse me. So 2 left for McNick, 3 for Walnut. As they are in control of this game, at least in terms of if they want to just run the clock all the way down, the onus will be on the Walnut defense to get a steal before they can get that final shot up. But you never know how high school coaches are going to make these calls in the final minutes. The 3 by Nienaber was the backbreaker that erased Walnut's lead in one shot. His first points of the second half. Out of the timeout for Walnut, we have Wilson, McDaniel, Richardson, Rivers, and Stoffrigen. So a more defense-focused lineup. For McNick, we got Gunter, Waters, Nienaber, Conrad, and Clark, who will be the inbounder, with 40.9 to go. Looks like Gunter's the favorite to get the ball, but instead it'll be Nienaber. Nienaber stands at the top of the key and just dribbles against McDaniel. Nienaber moving inside on Rivers, kicks it out. Waters into the paint, through the basket, underhand layup, no good. Rebound taken by Stoffrigen of Walnut Hills. They try to tie him up and can't, and a whistle is going to be called and a timeout, looks like, by Walnut. Get a timeout or a foul? We got a foul. Gunter was called for the foul, and now Stoffrigen is shooting free throws. Charlie Stoffrigen would be huge to break the tie. It's good. Stoffrigen gives the Eagles a 1-point lead. 58-57 with 25 seconds left. Second shot for Stoffrigen is good after a friendly roll. Walnut by 2. Walnut pressing. Nienaber gets it past the center circle. Nienaber running. 20 seconds left. Nienaber rolls right now. Nienaber hands it behind his back. Waters goes there to Clark, and a timeout called by McNicholas. With 12.9 seconds to go, they still trail by 2. Full timeout by McNick. They have one left. Seven points so far in the quarter for Walnut. 6 points for McNick. And this one will be decided on the last shot. Walnut 59, McNick 57. 12.9 to go. Rockets with the basketball. What will they have drawn up out of this full timeout? And will Walnut be able to get that defensive stop? The defense that carried them to victory over Loveland last night. Stoffrigen, Richardson, Rivers, Wilson, McDaniel for Walnut. Nienaber, Gunter, Clark, Conrad, and Waters for McNick. The inbounds pass goes to Nienaber. 11 seconds left, Nienaber. Holding. Nienaber inside. Nienaber feeds Clark. Fall back 15-footer, no good. Walnut gets the rebound. Rivers, and he gets it out to McDaniel. And the game is over. Walnut wins. They didn't foul Rivers. And he got the pass away. We'll see. They go to the sidelines. This game is over. The Eagles win 59-57 on a clutch defensive stop. And they win their third straight game. They are 3-1 in 2024. As Nienaber, I'm going to go rewatch that last possession as Clark broke to the basket. He fell away. Stoffrigen shed him, and they just never fouled Rivers, and he got the pass away to McDaniel. And by the time Conrad got hands on McDaniel, that was all. They didn't have any time left, and the game ended. And the Eagles, 3 straight wins. They take this one 59-57 over McNicholas, and they move to 3-1 on the young season. This has been Walnut Hills Basketball on Graham Sportscasting Channel.